They never tell you this part. When God truly places His hand on your life, things do not get easier, they get heavier, because a real anointing does not invite comfort, it invites conflict. The moment heaven marks you, the darkness takes notice, and slowly, the things that once came easy now carry resistance. People start to misunderstand you. Doors that used to open begin to close, and you find yourself whispering, "Why does everything feel different since I said yes to God?" You did not do anything wrong. You simply became someone heaven is watching closely. If you have felt like your whole life is shaking lately, it may not be a breakdown. It may be confirmation. Some people are simply blessed, but others are chosen, refined, and tested before that blessing is ever revealed. That is a harder road to walk, but it is not a punishment, it is preparation. So let us walk through 5 signs that you are carrying something heaven has set apart. The first sign, a battle you cannot explain. When you carry a true calling, you do not need to do anything wrong to come under pressure. Your very presence becomes a target. Sudden confusion, heaviness in your chest, a wave of fear with no clear cause. These are not random. The enemy does not waste his energy on the ordinary. He watches what carries oil. You might wake up tired, anxious, weighed down, even when life outside looks fine. Ephesians 6:12 reminds us, we are not wrestling against people, but against powers we cannot see. You are not weak. Your spirit has simply been noticed in a realm the eyes cannot reach. The struggle is not proof God left you. It is proof He is near. The second sign, a season of being set apart. Sometimes God separates us, not as punishment, but as protection. People you thought would walk beside you forever begin to fade. Friendships shift, and quietly, you start to feel unseen, even forgotten. But isolation can be heaven's quiet classroom. Before God reveals you to the world, He often refines you in private. Think of David, anointed as a future king, yet sent back to tend sheep in the fields. Think of Joseph, given a dream of greatness, yet thrown into a pit, forgotten in a prison cell. Their hidden seasons were never abandonment, they were preparation. Moses, too, spent 40 quiet years tending sheep in the wilderness before he ever stood in front of Pharaoh. 40 years of silence before the moment that changed a nation. God is rarely in a hurry to reveal what He is still forming. So if you have felt unseen lately, do not call it rejection. Heaven often hides what it is preparing to lift up. The third sign, a war fought quietly in your mind. When the enemy cannot take what God has placed in you, he tries to take your peace instead. He plants worry where there should be trust. He fuels overthinking until your fears grow louder than your faith. You pray, and still, the noise in your head will not settle. This happened even to Elijah. Right after he called fire down from heaven, a miracle, he ran into the wilderness, exhausted, and he asked God to let him rest. Spiritual highs are often followed by quiet, heavy valleys. But Philippians 4:7 gives us this promise: the peace of God will guard your heart and mind. The anointing does not remove the battle, it equips you to survive it and still stand. The fourth sign, doors that close for reasons you cannot see. Sometimes what feels like delay is actually divine protection. You pray for an opportunity, and it falls through. You knock, and the door stays shut. And quietly, you start to wonder, God, did I miss my moment? But every closed door may be shielding you from something you cannot yet see. Joseph's dream did not arrive overnight. It took years, betrayal, a prison cell, long seasons of waiting before he ever stood before a throne. The waiting was not punishment, it was preparation in disguise. So if everything in your life feels paused right now, do not panic. Heaven has not forgotten you. It may simply be perfecting the timing. And the fifth sign, a quiet, unshakable sense of purpose, even in your pain. No matter how hard life presses, something inside you refuses to give up. You may cry, you may doubt, you may feel unworthy some days. But there is a whisper underneath all of it that says, there is still more for me. That whisper is not stubbornness. It is your spirit remembering why you were called. 2 Corinthians 4:8 puts it gently. We are pressed on every side by troubles, but we are not crushed. That is what this kind of calling looks like, pressure without being destroyed. If any of these signs sound familiar to you tonight, it is not random, and it is not punishment. You are not under pressure because you are weak. You are under pressure because something real has been placed inside you. So do not retreat. Stay soft, stay humble, stay close to Him. Keep praying even when the words feel small. Keep showing up even when no one is watching. And when the time finally comes for heaven to reveal what has been quietly built in you, every battle you walk through will finally make sense. If this word reached something in you tonight, let it rest there for a moment before you go. And if you believe you are carrying something heaven has set apart, say it quietly to yourself right now. I am still here, and I am not done yet.